Our second Heroes Award, the Ken McMillan Memorial Award, is named after a man who was an inspiration to many of us. Reverend Dr. Ken McMillan was World Vision's minister at large for 26 years until he retired in his 90s. Ken demonstrated Christian faith in action and was deeply committed to effective leadership in the church. He inspired all of us with his deep personal faith, humility, and care for others. Sadly, he had went to be with the Lord in August 2012. With this award named after Ken, we recognize a recipient who has demonstrated Christian faith in action and a heart for leadership with the church. This evening, we are recognizing Reverend Dr. Gerry Michalski. Reverend Gerry is a lead pastor of Soul Sanctuary Church alongside his wife, Sharon, in Winnipeg, Manitoba, a church he's led for 18 years. Soul Sanctuary seeks to live out the gospel and be a place of spiritual refuge, repair, and rejuvenation for all people. Reverend Dr. Gerry helped Soul Sanctuary Church launch the Matthew 25 Challenge, followed by the Chosen in 2019, and has helped connect over 330 Canadians with a need in Kenya through various events. They have been a valued global partner in Taveta and Tenyu in Kenya since 2012. Michael, over to you.
Well, Gerry, it's now my great honor to recognize you as a hero for children and present you with the Dr. Ken McMillan Award. Congratulations. God bless you, and I welcome you to say a few words.
Well, thank you, Michael, and thank you, Gerry, for that introduction. I have to admit, I was sort of stunned to receive the email notification of the award. So much so, I actually had to reread the email twice to see if it was real. I love kids, but to be honest, I never thought myself as a hero for children. First of all, I have to give the credit and accept this award on behalf of Soul Sanctuary Church, because this award would not be possible without the enormous role that the church played today. My dad was a pastor of a little Ukrainian church in the heart of the inner city of Winnipeg, and over the years, the neighborhood around the church started to transition and become poor. And that was my first experience to poverty. I remember going door to door, inviting people to church or dropping off hampers and being exposed to things that I've never seen before in my own home, like the effects of poverty, the results of addiction, and many other things. But I always remembered how my parents reinforced to me how we needed to be thankful where we lived and always to share what we had with those in need. My dad modeled that in a very great way. I grew older and I began to be more exposed to the pain of others, and I had a keen realization that life wasn't fair. And we're conditioned by society to think that everything has to be fair. We want it to be, but it's not. And so I often would sit back and wonder what type of legacy I was going to leave when I'm gone. Have I made a difference? Because I've had the opportunities to see what's happening in our world. I've been exposed to the effects of poverty in Indonesia, Ecuador, Eswatini, Kenya, never mind what I see in my own city. And I've always found myself in the situation to say that we need to do something. Helen Keller wrote that all the world is full of suffering, but it's also full of overcoming. Whenever we find ourselves with the pain and suffering in our lives, we are also at the crossroads of choice. And when you think about it, there is often very little that we can do about our own pain, but there's always something that we can do to relieve the pain of others. And when we read Matthew 25, it's Jesus who is saying that when we see those in need, the least of these, we need to do something. And so it doesn't matter the color of the skin, the country of origin. We are called to love others as if they're our family. And we have an obligation to make a difference outside of our own comfort zones to impact the needy that God brings to our attention. According to Ephesians 2:10, we are created to do good works that God has prepared in advance for us to do. And this is something I strongly believe. And I love that our church cares and our church lives this out. And I guess that must be my legacy. I believe that God has planned this from the beginning of time. And so I am thankful for Soul Sanctuary and sharing the vision that we need to help children across the world and putting their faith into action. I thank my wife, Sharon, and family that's present with me today for supporting me in the journey to improve people's lives around the globe. Thank you to every much at World Vision for all your work that you do and taking time to recognize the role that Soul Sanctuary has played in the lives of many children in Taveta and Tenyu, Kenya. And finally, I want to give a shout out to our local World Vision rep, Chris Schrader. Simply because of whom this moment would have not been made possible. Without his encouragement, cooperation, and passion. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, Gerry. Thank you to your whole family and to Soul Sanctuary Church. And a big shout out to Chris Schrader, who I know is online here today. We love you, Chris. Thank you. Back to you, Gerry.